Hello, everybody, and a warm welcome back to the Mr. and Mrs. Daily English channel. I'm Angelina, and I'm genuinely thrilled to be sharing time with all of you today.
And a big hello to our fantastic listeners. I'm Brad, and I'm totally ready for another engaging and really useful English lesson.
Absolutely, Brad. Today, we're going to explore an amazing strategy that can dramatically improve your English speaking ability. It's known as shadowing.
Shadowing? That sounds rather mysterious, Angelina. Could you explain to our audience exactly what this method involves?
Of course. Shadowing is essentially a technique where you listen to a piece of English audio, like a podcast or a news clip, and then you repeat it out loud almost simultaneously with the original speaker. You're trying to mimic their voice as closely as possible, making your voice a shadow of theirs.
I understand. So the goal is to hear the words and then try to articulate them at the exact same speed and with the speaker's same rhythm and rise and fall.
That's it. Think of it like a trained mimic, but with a specific goal. You aren't merely saying the words, you're internalizing the natural flow, the pronunciation, and the rhythm of English conversation. This is a new learning technique that helps train your ear and your mouth simultaneously for better English.
That makes perfect sense. It sounds like a much more proactive way to learn than just reading. Before we go into the specifics, Angelina, should we quickly ask our listeners for their usual support?
You read my mind, Brad. Before we get started, if you are enjoying our content and find it beneficial, please take a second to hit the subscribe button. It really helps our channel, based here in sunny Melbourne, reach so many more students worldwide. And please give this episode a like if you find this advice helpful. We truly value your support.
Yes, please show us some love. And if you have any questions about this shadowing technique or any other learning challenges, please drop a comment below. We love reading your insights.
Part 2. Why shadowing is effective.
All right, Angelina, let's get back to shadowing. Why does this listen and repeat method work so well for those learning English?
Well, Brad, shadowing helps in several key areas. First and foremost, it significantly boosts your pronunciation. By attempting to perfectly match the speaker's sounds, you develop a stronger awareness of how English words are actually spoken, which, as we know, often differs greatly from the written spelling.
That is so accurate. The spelling of English words can be very confusing for new learners.
Exactly. Shadowing helps you skip the confusing spelling and focus purely on the sounds. Secondly, it strengthens your listening skills. You are forced to pay intense attention to the audio to successfully replicate it, making it a fantastic mental and vocal workout all at once.
That's interesting. You're getting two benefits for the price of one.
Exactly. And thirdly, shadowing helps you grasp the correct rhythm and pitch, what we call intonation, of native English. Speakers don't speak robotically. They use variations in tone and stress to express emotion and meaning. Shadowing lets you absorb these patterns naturally.
That's a crucial point, Angelina. Intonation is definitely something many learners, like my 45-year-old friend, struggle to understand just from standard grammar books.
Absolutely. And finally, shadowing can truly enhance your overall fluency. By practicing speaking alongside a native speaker, you become much more comfortable constructing English sentences and speaking them smoothly without hesitation.
Wow, it sounds like this listen and repeat technique offers a huge range of advantages. So, what's the best way for our listeners to start using this method right away? What are the initial steps?
Part 3. How to start shadowing. The very first step is selecting high-quality audio material to work with. It's best to choose content that is appropriate for your current level, or perhaps just a tiny bit more challenging. If it's too hard, you'll feel discouraged quickly.
What specific types of audio would you suggest they use?
There are many excellent choices. Short podcasts created specifically for language students are fantastic because the speakers usually articulate clearly and speak at a controlled speed. You could also use small clips from movies or English language news segments, provided the speakers have clear enunciation. Even simple audiobooks can work, especially if you can get the written script or transcript to follow along.
Having the transcript sounds incredibly beneficial, especially for a beginner who might not know many words.
It is a huge advantage. When you have the transcript, you can read it as you listen and shadow. This helps you connect the spoken sounds with the written form and clarify any parts you missed. So, step 1, find suitable audio, preferably with a transcript. What about step 2?
Step 2 is straightforward. Listen to a short section of the audio without trying to repeat anything yet. Just focus on listening to grasp the general meaning of the content.
Okay, so first get familiar with what's being discussed. Smart idea. And then step 3.
Then you begin the actual shadowing. Play the audio again, focusing on just a short phrase or a sentence, and try to repeat exactly what you hear at the same moment as the speaker. Don't worry about being perfect right away. The main goal is to match the general rhythm and the sounds as closely as possible.
So we are aiming to be a shadow, literally following right behind the original voice?
That's the perfect analogy. And step 4 is where the magic happens. Repetition. Go back to that same short piece of audio and shadow it multiple times. With each repeat, you'll start noticing new details in the pitch and sound. In language learning, consistency is vital.
Absolutely. And then step 5 is to slowly start increasing the length. Once you feel comfortable shadowing short phrases, try moving on to longer sentences and eventually entire paragraphs.
That sounds like a safe way to build both confidence and skill.
It definitely is. And for step 6, I recommend something a little brave. Record yourself shadowing and then compare your recording with the original audio. This is highly effective. You'll catch small differences in your own speech that you weren't aware of before. I know it can be scary, but it's a powerful tool.
Oh, that does take courage. It can be a little daunting to listen to your own voice critically.
It is, but it's also the most helpful way to pinpoint exactly where you need to improve. You don't ever have to show these recordings to anyone. They are purely for your personal study.
That's a relief. It's a private method for getting personalized speaking feedback.
Exactly. And the final step, step 7, is simply to be persistent and patient. Shadowing requires ongoing practice, and you won't sound perfectly native overnight. But with consistent effort, you will absolutely see a great improvement in your speaking and listening abilities.
That's a solid set of instructions, Angelina. I hope our listeners, especially those struggling with the sounds of English, find this useful. Now, do you have any quick advice for maximizing a shadowing session?
Yes, I do. One key tip is to really focus on the mechanics of the sound. Pay attention to how the speaker's lips and tongue move, even if you can't see them. Try to mimic those physical actions as closely as you can.
That's fantastic advice, Angelina. It's all about getting a physical understanding of the language.
Precisely. And a final key takeaway I'd like to share is this. Shadowing is an active, highly effective listen and repeat technique that will rapidly improve your pronunciation, listening comprehension, and fluency. The payoff is definitely worth the effort. So don't be afraid to try this new method and repeat like a native.
That's an excellent summary, Angelina. Thank you for sharing all these great tips on shadowing with us today, Angelina. I'm certainly going to start incorporating this more into my own studies, especially with my new puppy, Spot, who keeps distracting me.
You're very welcome, Brad. And to all our listeners, we truly encourage you to give the shadowing method a serious try. Remember to start with material at your comfort level, be patient with yourself, and practice often. You will be so surprised by the results.
And that brings us to the end of another great episode of Mr. and Mrs. Daily English. It's always a pleasure speaking with you, Angelina.
The pleasure is all mine, Brad. And thank you to all our wonderful listeners for tuning in. We hope this episode was beneficial.
Before we go, Angelina, should we give our listeners one last reminder?
Absolutely, Brad. If you enjoyed this episode and found it useful, please don't forget to subscribe to the Mr. and Mrs. Daily English channel so you don't miss our future lessons. And please share this episode with any friends or family members learning English. The more, the merrier.
Yes, please do share. And we'd love to hear from you. Leave us a comment below and let us know if you've ever tried shadowing before or if you have any questions about this new technique. We always appreciate your feedback. Thanks again for listening, everyone. Keep practicing, and we'll catch you in the next episode. Bye for now, and happy shadowing.
Goodbye.